Hey, Josh from Team Shuffles here. I am here with, who is you?
You know the Mekk-Knight God, Gabe? Actually, I can't say the Mekk-Knight God. The Invoked Mekk-Knight God.
The Invoked Mekk-Knight God.
Because Bobby's got Mekk-Knight God on lockdown.
What did you do at yesterday's locals, buddy?
I won our win-a-box again.
Again?
I won Savage Strike's win-a-box yesterday.
Right on. How'd you do? What'd you finish?
I finished 3-0-1. I tied my last round.
Ah, so some guy stopped you a little bit. Okay.
A little bit. I mean, I still won the box, so.
Just rub it in. Okay. All right. Let me see what you got.
All right. So, ask and you shall receive.
Yeah.
I played the Mekk-Knight Invoked. So, a little bit's changed now that the ban list came out. So, I got 3 Alistair. The Mekk-Knight engine changed a little bit. So 3 purple like usual, 2 blue. And then I actually started playing 2 Shifty Boy. And then the 1...
I bet I can guess why.
Yeah, so the Shifty Boy is pretty good now. I upped the Mekk-Knight count to make the Mekk-Knight link search a little more consistent. Consistently of opening the Mekk-Knights.
Are you running yellow?
No. I was running it, but then I just was like, Twin Twisters does it better, so it's Pankratops. 2 Time Maiden. It's just really good. I actually have not used this card in a while. I never opened it.
Classic Gabe.
And then 3 Ash. I cut the hand traps down to 3.
So what were you running before?
I was running 2 Ash, 2 Droll, 2 Ogre.
Oh, that's right.
So I cut it down to 3 just because hand traps aren't really as big in this format. You don't need them as much.
That's what I thought too. I'm running 3 Ash and that's about it too.
Because like sometimes it's not impactful. Like in Thunder Dragon, like Ash is good, but like it doesn't stop their whole play. So it's like, it's not worth playing. I'd rather have like cards like Instant Fusion and Mind Control in my hand to help out the boards.
Right. Same with Sky Striker and Ultrageist.
Yeah.
Sky Striker just keep going, but if you can get personal spoofing at the right time.
And I'm no longer a scrub anymore. I finished hollowing out my
Hey,
engine.
look at that! I mean, you're still a scrub, but
yeah.
at least you're rarity whoring out. Okay.
Yeah. And then so 5 Meltdown, the same. I can't play 3 Terraforming, so I play 3 Meltdown.
Yeah.
If I could play 3 Terraforming, I'd play 2 Meltdown. I could set Terraforming. And 3 Invocation. I got my ulties. Those are pretty hot.
Lovely.
To be honest, I probably would still play this at 2, but I don't want to break the ulti playset. That's literally the reason why I run it at 3.
Do you run Desires?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
but it doesn't really come up that much because I can search it. Usually I search before Desires anyways.
Right.
So unless I actually have to activate Desires. And then 3 Mind Control. I need to get Supers or Ultras of these. They're just ridiculously expensive right now because of Thunder Dragon. So they're just commons right now. It's the only common in the deck. 3 Called By. Really good.
Yep.
2 Desires. Really good. 2 Instant Fusion. Again, I don't like 3 of it because if I open more than 1 copy of it, it's kind of garbage.
How many targets do you have?
Just 3.
For Instant Fusion?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then this is probably what I would run 3 of if I wasn't running the 3rd Invocation. So, I used to not like this card.
It's good, man.
While Scapegoat's gone now, the ability for me to set this and keep getting advantage of my opponent's turn, especially when I go first. So, like, I had a really bad hand where I opened, like, this and, like, 4 spells that I couldn't do anything with. So I set this, and then I activated my opponent's end phase and then searched the Mekk-Knight plays, and it got my whole play going, and I was able to kill them.
Right.
But, like, I probably would have kept this at Scapegoats, but since Scapegoat's gone now, it gives me something else to do. And like at the end of your turn, just activating this if you haven't used your Mekk-Knight plays, after you set up like your Invoked Negates to then search again, is pretty good.
Right.
And then the 1-ofs, Succession, Book of Law, Monster Reborn, nothing's changed here. I started siding this out more whenever I side deck, just simply because when I go first, I don't want to open it, and I don't really use it. I don't really need to OTK. But it helps. I'm actually considering just cutting Book of Law and just adding in the 3rd memory, simply for the fact that I don't really need it. But it's still good. It just doesn't come up as much as I want it to anymore. And then 1 World Legacy Succession for the Mekk-Knight link. You can search it.
In the main?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is really good. So, like, against my Burning Abyss player, I put this here, and I put my thing there, and I negated his first 2 extra deck monsters effects. So it was really good. This guarantees me 2 negates, a monster effect negates when I go first, and a 3rd pseudo one if they activate something in a in Morningstar's column. So it's just really good because it gives me 3 pseudo. It gives me 2 negates and then a pseudo negate as well. So if I make like the Mekk-Knight link in Mekaba, it gives me 4 negates.
Okay. Plus, if you got set Called By.
Yeah, so that's 5.
Yeah.
I had 2 set Called Bys against Thunder Dragon this weekend, which was kind of good.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Trust me.
And then so Invoked / Instant Fusion targets.
Yep.
So
this dude is severely underrated.
Yeah, so he kind of cripples decks that revolve around monster effects. So like, he only lets you activate 1 monster effect, attempt to activate a monster effect per turn. So say I set up like Mekaba with a monster effect negate, and him, I can negate their first monster effect with Mekka, and they're not allowed to activate any monster effects for the rest of the turn.
Yep.
It's super good.
How often you go into both?
A couple times. It depends on what my opponent's doing. It's easier for me to go into both if I open Instant Fusion, because I can link the Thousand Eyes away, and then go into him because it gives me a dark target.
Yeah.
If he wasn't a dark, if he had any other attribute besides dark, it'd be super easy for me to go into him. But it's because he's a dark, it makes it a little more difficult.
Right.
But 2 Mekka, standard, and then I bumped this guy to 2. Cut out the
now.
Because I don't run Link Spider or Link Rebo anymore, because Scapegoat's not here anymore.
Okay.
But Purge Trio is good. I didn't really ever go into him this weekend, but he's still really good. I run him at 2. I didn't know what else to run. Mekk-Knight, like, oh, I thought I was gonna sneeze and I didn't. Alistair the Invoker of Madness, really broken. I find myself going into him more anymore, just simply because it gives me more search power and more revival.
Especially if you're running the memory now.
Yeah, and that's really good when I go first. And then I run almost the whole Nightmare package.
Do you not run Spectrum Supreme in here?
Okay.
I
actually made him in my Striker match. I was just playtesting with my new deck that I'm going to be playing probably next week at Locals. I got to grab my...
Oh, you got to win with it, Gabe.
I got to throw my sword out of there. I'm not going to show it. It's a surprise.
Oh, okay.
But I got to get my sword out of there. But, yeah, I made him against the Striker player I played round 1.
He's unaffected by card effects, right? Or
he cannot be targeted or destroyed by opponent's card effects if he doesn't point to any monsters, and if there's nothing in the same column, he can attack directly.
Yeah.
So... basically, against the Striker player, I forced him to search Jamming Waves, which nobody plays in the main deck anymore. But Jamming Waves is like they're only out to this card because it sends, it doesn't target. So the Jamming Waves target the back row and then send him. But he's really good. And beating face for 3,000 every turn is really good when you go into time. And then the Boar Boys. They're really busted.
Gangbanger boys.
Yeah. I didn't go into load at all over the weekend, but Sword won me like pretty much every game. And then for side deck, I ran 1 order. This was a filler card, but it did win me my Sky Striker game too. That should be the second Trap Trick. And then I'm running 3 Sanctum and a Scythe. So my thoughts was, this format are super extra deck reliant except for Altergeist. So like, flipping a Scythe on like a Striker player or a Thunder Dragon player stalls them out enough for me to kill them next turn.
Right.
So this should be the second Trap Trick. Mine just hasn't come in the mail yet. But... I was going to run 1 Trap Trick, 2 Scythe, but opening Scythe sucks. But I am playing Desire, so this is what I was testing with, but I might bump this to 2.
Right. How tight is the side deck? Because I feel like Imperial Order could be a staple, you know.
Not at all.
No.
I just like 3 ofs rather than 2 ofs.
Right.
The reason why I'm running only 2 Trap Trick is because this makes it 6 when I side in rather than 5.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to side out 6 cards than it is for 5. I don't know why, just the ratios of the way the deck works. Just siding out in 3 ofs is a lot easier than like 1s or 2s.
And what decks do you tend to side those in for? Thunder Dragon,
Burning Abyss, Sky Striker, anything that revolves on the extra deck. I won't side in against Altergeist, simply for the fact that they don't really go into the extra deck that much.
Yeah.
But my deck doesn't have that bad of an Altergeist matchup anyways. So, but I have other things to side for Altergeist.
Okay.
It's good against rogue decks too. Pretty much like every rogue deck, like Prank Kids and stuff, it's good against. Like if I flip Scythe on your Prank Kids deck, like you're just gonna pass with a set card, and then I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
3 Pankratops. So I started siding this over Twin Twisters simply for the fact that he's a +1. So you go into the battle phase, swing over something, tribute on the end of battle phase to pop something, rather than Twin Twisters is just a even plus. Because it's all about like the grind game in this format. Like it's all about whoever has the most card advantage. Like. Half the time I don't even sometimes try to kill people, I just try to get more card advantage than them if I can't kill them. Right. So like against Striker, like the fact that he's a +2 is really good. Because like if I go battle, make them tag out their thing, battle, make them tag out their Ray, for the next thing, then swing over it, that's all their resources they got wasted, and I can pop something else.
Yep. How often you get called by on him?
Not often. Most people called by my Alistair.
So it's worth the risk? Okay.
Yeah, usually on the resolution of my Link summon, I usually called by my Alistair. So that kind of hurts a little bit, but like if I call by him, it's okay as long as I have something else to respond to their stuff in my hand.
Right. Okay.
And then 3 Lancia for the Thunder Dragon match.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Played one of them. Didn't see it. I saw it late game in my tied match against them. I top decked it for turn right before I just scooped and we just went into time. So
right.
It's good though. And testing and stuff, it's just really good. And against like decks that banish like Trickstars, like It's really good. In general, things that like just banish like I don't know against the Chaos Burning Abyss deck. So they use the Chaos Dragons and stuff. You can Lancia them on their start of the main phase. So like I did that to a Burning Abyss player. He went and on his main phase. I started his main phase. I Lancia'd, so he can't use any of his Chaos Dragons in hand. Oof. And then 3 of the power card, evenly matched.
Wins games.
So what I did to the Striker player in game 3 was I went Pankratops, and then I popped 2 cards to bait out something, and then on his end phase, on the end of battle phase, I dropped evenly match on him, and then evenly matched down him to 1 card, and then killed him.
Poor guy.
I've stepped like 4 negates. It was pretty good. But that was it for the deck.
All right, man. What were your matchups?
So round 1, I played against Striker. I won that one 2-1. Game 1, I opened trash, and he just outgrinded me. I just scooped it up pretty early. And then game 2, I opened Order, and I beat him to death with Alistair. And then
poke for 1,000, poke for 1,000.
Game 3, he went first. I don't know why he didn't make me go first. I actually decided to go first, but I also decided to go second. I sided in 12 cards because I didn't know what he was going to make me do.
Good grief!
I sided in the 3 evenly.
Were you smoke screening or what?
This is what I sided in. I didn't know what else to side in, so the only thing I didn't side in were my Lancias. So I didn't know what he was going to make me do. Yeah. And I ended up opening a Pankratops, 2 evenly, and then like an Alistair and a Mekk-Knight, and then I drew an Invocation for turn. So okay. I just set like Mekka pass and just beat him to death. Yep. And then round 2 I played against Blackwings. Game 1 I OTK'd him because he went first. Game 2 he made me go first, and I opened 5. I opened a Trap Trick, a Sanctum, a Scythe, a Memory, and I think it was a Called by the Grave. So I set 5 past.
How do you set 5 pass on Invoked Mekk-Knight?
That's what I said. I looked at my buddy. I looked at the person next to me, and I was like, when you set 5 pass in your Mekk-Knight deck. But
is that a new meme?
Yeah. So there was 2 things on the board. He was swaying with his first one, but none of them were big enough to beat over Purple Nightfall. So then I tied him on his end phase, and then I drew an Alistair for turn, which gave me enough damage to kill him. Right. And then round 3, I played against Burning Abyss. Game 1, he just bricked really bad. Like he opened like Seer, and then 4 dangers in his hand. Oh. And he went Jackalope, and it specialed, and then he drew a Destrudo for turn, which was pretty good, but then I stopped the Yazi from going off, so he couldn't kill me. And then game 2, I just OTK'd him. He made me go first, and I set up Kaliga Mekaba and a Called by set. So I had a monster effect negate in hand, so he couldn't do anything. And then round 4, I played against Thunder Dragon. Game 1, it was a long game. And
it was grindy.
It just came down to just, like, I had 2 Called by the Grave set, and then I had another one that I had drawn, and I had a Mekaba negate, and I think I made Kaliga that game, I don't remember. Yeah. And then game 2, I made Kaliga again. He went first, and he set up Diablos Colossus, and I opened the nuts, but I didn't open a Mekk-Knight, so I couldn't kill him. I opened Alistair, Instant Fusion, Mind Control, Invocation, and a Called by the Grave. And then I drew another Called by the Grave for turn, so I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't kill him, so I made, like, Unicorn for some reason, pitched an Invocation to try to spin back his Diablos, even though I already knew it couldn't be targeted. That's why I didn't go into Cerberus. But, hey, we always make mistakes, and I tied with him. But we were going to tie either way unless I OTK'd him that turn, because just game 1 lasted so long. But other than that, it was good.
Man. Any shout-outs for...
So, shout-out to Team Shuffles for the deck profile. And then shout-out to everybody from Finley that came down to the... this is my local card shop, by the way. This is the one that I play at whenever I'm not in Finley.
Give him a plug.
So, my local card shop's called Whatever Cards and Games. You guys should stop by sometime. It's in Ada, Ohio. They have a Facebook page. It will be in the description. But they hosted a win-a-box. They're trying to work around with Postboard's schedule and stuff so we can host events too. And like we just changed our local times too so more people from Finley can come down. But shout out to everybody from Postboard that came down to play in the win-a-box. I'm happy we got to actually have something down at my local card shop finally. But yeah, it was a good time. And shout out to Josh for coming down on this lovely Sunday morning to get my deck profile. Right. But Ask and you shall receive.
That's
the
right.
Mekk-Knight deck.
That's right, brother. All right, man. Congrats on your win, and Team Shuffle's out.